I do represent a variety of small business trade associations as well as the academic staff of the UW system, which is kind of a little bit different than my usual clientele. So today I'm giving you a little bit of a presentation about how to track legislation. And so I will cover 4 levels of government technically, federal, state, local, and local will be both Dane County and Madison. But some of those tips that I provide throughout the way will be able to help you with, if you are in a different city like Verona or Fitchburg, or in a different county, it would help you with locating information in that way too. So kind of to start off, a very general tips on how to search for legislation. It's very important, first of all, to know where the legislation is at. Is it on the federal level? Is it at the state level? Or on your local government level? Then we will generically kind of talk about legislation. So the use of the word legislation for Congress and for the state legislature, it's typically referred to as a bill. But when we get to local government, it's typically referred to as a file. So when you're searching on those types of websites for information, those are the terms that you will see. Then also you will see, if you don't know the bill number, you might know the sponsor. And so especially on the state and federal level, you can search by sponsor. So who is the legislator who has introduced the legislation? That is another way to try to find it if you don't know exactly what it's referred to as. Or you can always search by topic. Now, I give some really great hints there. Don't be too broad or don't be too specific, because if you're too broad, you search on taxes, let's say, you are going to be bombarded with information of every tax that you didn't even know existed out there. Otherwise, if you do something too specific, for example, I represent the Hotel and Lodging Association. We care about room tax issues. If you put simply in room tax, you would be limiting yourself as to what information you might find. So you need to get a little bit creative and find additional terms that you might search under. Sometimes people in government don't necessarily call something the same thing you do. For example, room tax can be referred to as a lodging tax, as an occupancy tax, as a local option tax, as a premier resort tax. So there's all sorts of things that somebody in government thinks it should be called rather than what you as a business person would call it. And so then once you start doing some searching, once you find a website that works for you, bookmark it so that you're not always trying to find it again. Once you maybe enter in, get an account on that page, you can bookmark that so it's easier to log in each time and make it a little bit easier for your search. And then there are also, today I'll talk about, I'm going right to the government websites today that you could use, but if you are looking for something more specific, there are other free or subscription services out there that you could subscribe to if the information I provide you doesn't quite meet your needs here today. So first of all, we'll start at the top. We'll start with the government, with federal government. And I direct you to the congress.gov website. At the very top, and you can't see it very well here either, but at the very top, there's a box up here that refers to as a search box. And there you can search by topic, or you can search by the bill number should you know it. Also on that congress.gov website, you will be able to find committee schedules. You can search by your congressperson or the person who is the sponsor of the legislation you're interested in. This is particularly where trying to find something a little bit more specific would be good rather than just putting in taxes, healthcare, etc. So this website also is kind of a book, kind of the portal for all things government. You can go into our actual federal laws, you can get into the regulations that are put out by federal agencies, etc. If you were to scroll down when you're on this webpage, scroll down all the way to the bottom, you would find under ways to connect an ability to sign up for RSS and email alerts. And so on this page, and again, you can't see it real well on here or on that document, but it kind of gives you an idea that there are hyperlinks to explain how to sign up for email alerts on what type of issues or bills to make those alerts by. This information is RSS at the top, and it's the email alerts at the bottom. And there it really gets very specific in how you can go about signing up for information. And kind of moving on then to the state legislature. And I will be honest, I am a state lobbyist. I am not a federal lobbyist, even though I have gone out to DC and and gone on some fly-ins with some clients and lobbied our congressional delegation there, but I would by no means call myself a federal lobbyist. And I also have done some lobbying for clients on the local level, but again, I don't consider myself a local lobbyist. There are people who specialize in that area. I specialize in state government, and as Pam alluded to, I did the math the other day, 20 years this summer, so yeah. Just aged myself there. But a little bit about the legislative government website, the state legislature website. Again, this one is pretty straightforward and simple to use, I think, maybe because I use it more regularly. But there are a couple places under law and legislation, a little bit towards the bottom of the page. There you can search by bill number and by topic there as well. And then when you get into it, it will bring up a list of them, and you kind of have to then begin to dig through looking for exactly what you are searching for. Once you find what you're looking for, and if you want to continue to be notified of it, there is a notification service you can sign up for here as well. But I'll also say from this legislature, from the state legislature website, you can also see all the committees, when the committees meet, who's on the committees, search by your state legislature and follow them. There's all, same thing you can do with Congress, but you can do this with this on this website as well. And so if you sign up for the notification service, once you make your account, which is again a free service, you can go in and begin to, unfortunately I did not include this on the handout, but you can go into the website and you can search by topic, you can search by bill sponsor, committee, and you can begin to get email alerts set up under those categories. You can also do administrative rules as well, which are what state agencies put out that also regulate you. But I will be honest, that is not the very best way to search for administrative rules. Administrative rules are tough to follow. And so here, I had some of the topics, and again, it's an example. I represent home inspectors, so inspection, inspectors, home, lead, radon. You begin to have to be specific about what type of information you might be looking for as you go through it. One other caveat that I make a note of on the handout, if you are following something in the state budget, now for you as a business owner, your budget is truly a fiscal document. But the state budget is not only fiscal, I'm not talking about the numbers and the taxes and the income of the state, but it also becomes a very much a policy document where a lot of legislative initiatives get put into the budget in the even number, in the even numbered year. So next year, February through July, the state will be working on their state budget. There's a committee called the Joint Finance Committee, and they really are the ones who dig into the state budget and really rearrange what the governor has proposed. They put out motions. There is nowhere you can find that information publicly, which is, in this day and age, when you think about everything that's online, that is not made to be public documentation unless you are, one, present in the room, or you subscribe to a service like the Wheeler Report, which you can have an additional fee to pay for to get a copy of those documents. I recommend as part of that, if you, or for the state budget or for any kind of other state action, if you are interested, you could follow on Twitter, Wheeler Reports or WisPolitics. They are some Capitol News services that are very helpful if you're looking for some information, and especially if you're looking for state issues. So moving on to more local government issues, again focusing on Dane County. The picture I have on your page, I put the wrong one in. This is the one I was actually looking for. The one in yours is the home page for Dane County. If you were to click on government and then on legislation, this is the page that will begin to take you to the government structure and legislation. Here you can find who your county supervisors are, the committees that are meeting, when they're meeting. Begin to track other ordinances and other issues on the county level if you would be interested. Once you click on legislation, it takes you to the Legislative Information Center. And from here you can begin to search by, again, topic or by file number so that you can begin to look for information that might be of interest to you at the county level. Up in the far corner that you can't see very well, again, is an ability to sign up for alerts. It's a very small little place to click, but up in the corner, in the far right corner, is the ability to sign up for alerts. This will be similar to what you can do for Madison as well. And then kind of moving on to Madison, from the home page of the cityofmadison.com. You have to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and then you can click on Legislative Information Center. And it'll take you to this page, where again, you can find committees, who your alder people are, get different you can sign up here for notices of committee meetings, notices of other actions that your alder people take. And if you click on sign in and sign up, or sign up and sign in, I think it's called, there you can go in and register for having an account, again, free, that you can then have email alerts sent to you. And if you click on legislation, it takes you to the very exciting looking city legislative center, similar to what Dane County had as well. Again, searching by bill, by file number, by topic area, and up in the right corner again is a way to sign up for alerts. Now, I know, especially at this time of the morning, this is some pretty dry stuff. But if you are really ever desperate and you're looking for information, and some of the information I have provided to you doesn't quite jive when you get back to your computer and you're looking, I am always open to any questions, to answer any questions or issues that you might have. And the information to reach me at is on the documents in front of you as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have today. Otherwise, you can always call or email me. Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come speak with you this morning.